You know the smell before you know anything else. Wood smoke and dead leaves. Somebody's basement. Or the good couch pulled too close to the TV. It's late. Later than you're allowed. And someone leans into the light, the shadows crawling up under their chin the wrong way, and says the words that rearrange your whole nervous system. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. And just like that, you're in. Nobody asked if you were ready, but the contract's signed anyway, and the oldest ink there is. I want to be scared, and I want to come back for more. Welcome to the Night Owl. Tonight, we're not talking about a movie. No, folks. We're talking about the crime scene. Because before I ever bought a ticket to a slasher, before I knew who John Carpenter was, I was a kid on the carpet way too close to the screen, letting Nickelodeon and Disney, and The Simpsons even, do something that honestly should have been illegal. They were building a horror fan on purpose, and it worked. Now, something that really got me into this and to begin with, horror in general, started with a Hey Arnold episode. One in particular that scared the fucking shit out of me when I was a kid, but it made me honestly so enamored and ready for more. That episode being the Headless Cabbie. My God, my spine is tingling right now. I have goosebumps all up and down my arms right now because I am thinking about that episode. It was something about that episode that really just encapsulated what it meant to be scared with friends and to also have fun doing it. It was perfect at what it was trying to emulate and what it was trying to force us to experience. Now, I grew up in the 90s, and because I was a 90s kid, I didn't really have, I guess, much in terms of what it meant to be a horror fan in the 90s. Sure, there was some great stuff that came out in the 90s, but I was way too young to watch that, and this was what I had the ability to watch when my parents said it was okay to watch cartoons or whatever. This is what I had at my disposal. So, the 90s ran a secret pipeline here. On one end, a kid a little too willing to look under the bed. On the other, whatever wonderful gremlin you and I became. And what ran between them was an era of television that treated children's fear not as something to protect us from, but as something to develop, like a muscle, or more like a taste. It came in 3 particular lessons, so let's take attendance. Lesson 1, the campfire contract. More so on Are You Afraid of the Dark and The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror, or Terror. That kind of flip-flopped the names a little bit there. But the first thing 90s horror taught me wasn't a monster, it was a shape. That shape being none other than the anthology. Look at how radical Are You Afraid of the Dark is as an architecture. Every week, kids walk into the woods, sit around a fire, and one of them tells a story. That frame teaches you the ritual of horror before it teaches you any content. Because the Midnight Society aren't victims, they were curators. Damn good fucking curators. But curators nonetheless. They picked the stories. They threw the midnight dust on the fire. Well, technically a handful of non-dairy creamer, allegedly. You had to work with what you had in the 90s. And they opened with the incantation, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story done. Just take a fucking moment, folks, to understand what that line did, how it had me, young Prince, in a goddamn chokehold, dude. Oh my God, I cannot. I feel like I'm at a loss of words right now. But that's not a kid's show line. What's up, ghouls? If you want to tune in to the rest of this episode, visit our Patreon, linked in the show notes for you. For $5 a month, you'll be able to watch and listen to the rest of this episode while gaining access to the graveyard of bonus content with your membership.